It's Mayday!
It is the first of the month.
Wow! Happy new month. Now welcome to a super exciting month and a Friday morning to you, wherever you are watching us this early morning. We'd love to be the first to put a bright smile on your face.
Hello and welcome. It's a special Friday edition of your #1 family breakfast show on TV. It's called Wake Up Nigeria. Now it's a brand new month,
Of course.
May 1st.
Yep.
Can you believe it? You've been at home for a month.
Month plus for some people, they've been at home.
It's
for
Workers'
like
Day,
a
or
month.
should we change to Stay at Home Day just for today?
Well, we still have to commemorate workers. So
Yeah, of course.
It's
course.
Workers' Day. It's
It
Workers'
is.
Day. It's
People are working from home, especially.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
maybe-
parenting is work.
So today, just chill. Don't walk. Just chill at home. You know, give yourself some. It's a public holiday, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to talk about enjoying the public holiday when you've been at home and all that. But hey, whichever way, we are here to put up that smile on your face, and we have so much lined up for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, and you need to join us on this undiluted 3-hour ride. We have premium entertainment to help you kickstart the weekend. Even though it feels like, weekend feels like when you're going to work now.
Okay, yeah.
Because you've been having a long
Sure.
weekend,
It's a
essentially.
very long one, long one. Okay.
Stay tuned, everyone, right till the very end. My name is Titilayo Onyinso.
Mike Messikeno is mine. Stream with us at tvcentertainment.tv and then also on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Remember, it's still the month of Ramadan. We'll be looking forward to seeing your comments, shout outs to people, friends, family. Please just keep it engaging. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Of course, we will be taking your comments on the show.
Yeah.
Make sure you are a part of it. So, yeah, much coming up today, Friday. Much coming up. Now, of course, you can also download our app. If you need to watch us, you need to tell somebody who's not on this side of the globe, anywhere in the world. Once you have internet connection, the app is available for you to download and be a part of the show. Yep.
Friday, yeah?
Friday, May 1st.
Finally. So, Mike,
First of May.
it's like it's only on Friday I used to see you now.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what's up. But hey.
So wait. So you're going to ignore my shirt? Are you going to ignore my?
What
how
does it
cool my
say?
shirt?
Oh,
Yeah.
hashtag stay. Ah, man.
Stay safe, baby.
So let's
Yes.
talk about that. Monday, we have a partial ease of the lockdown beginning on Monday. People have to stay safe. Look.
So we want people to stay home. We actually really want people to stay home. But even if you have to go out, just stay safe. Now, there's nothing too cautious at this point. There's nothing
I agree with you.
overdone at this point.
In fact,
If you
fact.
literally cover your face, as you approach someone, like it's not like at this point, it's not too much.
look, so there's a mask directive in Lagos State. You must wear masks.
Yeah.
It's compulsory.
Yeah.
It's compulsory. You go out there, you're protecting yourself and so on. I feel that if every single person wears a mask, it's going to be hard to spread. A mask.
A lot harder.
It's going to be hard, yes. It will be. If every single person should wear a mask, because we know that the major means of spread of this virus is secretion.
Yeah,
And that is,
that's the
sneezing,
droplets.
Droplets when you talk and all of that. So please, mask will be if you're going to go in a public bus, ensure you wear a mask. I know that there's a directive that tricycles should have just 2 passengers.
Just 2 passengers.
I don't know how.
No motorcycle,
Commercial
commercial motorcycles.
allowed, but they're still there.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
know how the compliance will be to that directive.
But can only hope
yes, but
that the
then,
people themselves choose
Exactly.
not to, because they understand the dangers. So the truth is, you're too close to the rider. There's no social distance or physical distancing between yourself and the rider. That's why they're saying don't use commercial motorcycles.
eh?
Yeah, even in the Keke Napep, it's, they're saying 2 passengers. It's still not even, to me, it's still very
optimal.
close.
It's not optimal. It's not
but
optimal, but
wear your masks and
wear your mask. Get
keep
us
your
some hand
hands clean.
sanitizer
Yeah.
or something. My friend, it's hard not to touch your face. I heard this stat. I don't think it's very correct, but someone said the average human touches his face or her face 2,000 to 3,000 times a day. I think that's too much.
Okay, so I heard a minimum of 90 times an hour. So I
90
heard
times an hour.
90 times an hour.
Wow, by 24
Yeah.
hours. That's,
So think about it.
wow.
That's a lot.
Okay, that's over 1,800. By 20 is
Yeah,
1,800.
so
And then by
it's-
4, so that's
it's close.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
close.
true. You're looking at
But-
you're looking at 2,060. 2,060. If you
So
go
if
by
your
by
hands are
that.
clean and you're sure they're clean, make sure they're clean before you touch your face, if you can avoid it. You know, we women, we like to brush our hair away. I've been so conscious of that. I've been, even when doing my makeup, I use hand sanitizer before even starting my makeup.
Before you start the
You know,
makeup.
it's such a confusing time, but we just have to adjust. And people are actually complying. I've been out on the streets like for 3 days now. So that was a Monday, Thursday, and today. People are wearing masks even at this time of the morning. It's dark out and people are wearing the mask already.
Good.
But we're hoping you're getting the message. We're hoping you're understanding the reason for the message. And we hope you stay safe.
That's it. Just stay safe. Stay safe. That's
So
that's about
one
it.
of the ways people have been staying safe is definitely to stay home. And because they're staying home, they're getting very creative. So have you noticed how many live transmissions on Instagram there are?
Everybody is now an OAP. In fact, our jobs are at risk now. Because everybody is now a host of a conversation. So don't just call my friend, okay,
Yep.
I'm hosting the conversation, and this is the guest, host.
Honestly,
Number of hosts
there are
I've seen
some
now.
people that are doing very well. Now I have to, so it might be controversial, but I'm like, someone who's been very consistent is Ubi Franklin. He's been doing some very interesting interviews.
Yeah,
and all
with
that.
some interesting personalities and all
yes,
that. I see
then
that.
also
I see that.
some very
I see
deep
that.
conversations with Vector. Then also there's a particular pastor that I noted, Pastor Pojo Yemade has been doing some very deep conversations. He even had Daddy Gio on his live, and that
wonderful.
was big,
That was
really huge. So the truth is, people can't really say, if you're online, you can't really say you don't have anything to see. There's nothing new to see. There's always something new to see, always a new conversation going on.
eh?
So there's nothing you can complain about. Have you noted any celebrity that that made you just stop and watch?
Well, there's quite a lot now. For me, data, the way data is going these days, data is life, as it were.
That's what they say.
Quite a number of people you need. If you don't have data this period, I'm also some people have spoken about how hard it has been when you probably when you have to if it was like in the ages of 3310, you had those.
Thank
But would have
goodness
found a
for
way to go
technology.
around it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah, but that's it now. It's time for us to take the news, and of course, Titi has us on that one.
Yes, I do. It's time for the news update. And it has been a huge task enforcing the social distancing measure to curb the coronavirus pandemic in Lagos. But when some government agencies decide to take the advocacy to communities, there may be a change of attitude among the people. Ola Awakon was at Ikorodu, where the Lagos Task Force on the COVID-19 team sensitized residents.
Good news that the lockdown will be partially eased in Lagos from next week. As the number of cases has not subsided, one word that needs to be fought and won is flouting the social distancing order. This is Odogunyo area of Ikorodu, and the Lagos State Safety Commission and Environmental Protection Agency have taken the social distancing advocacy to the community. These classrooms are occupied with representatives of groups in the area receiving training on what to do to curtail the spread of COVID-19.
We have 120 people in here, well spread around across the social groups in Ikorodu local government. The only way to curb the spread of coronavirus is by social distancing. Social distancing is a medical phenomenon that is practiced worldwide.
We want to drive this message down to the grassroots, to drive it down to the communities that this virus cannot spread by itself. We need people to spread it, and we are the people that spread it. So if we practice social distancing, then we can stop the cycle of transmission.
This artisan is now equipped with the right information and ready to pass the message to others.
I must carry this message to people who are not here this morning to let them know the importance of washing our hands, putting up our face masks, and as well, if you don't have anything to do outside, we should stay indoor.
As residents of Lagos prepare for the controlled easing of the lockdown, this transporter says the union will adhere strictly to the order by the state government and fares won't be hiked.
The fuel have already come down. We are not to, there's no way to increase the transport money. There's no way. We are the normal price that we have taken before. That's why that's going to be taken. Then give us lectures about that we should not load overloading, and anybody should use mouth cover.
This exercise will definitely have a multiplier effect, as those who have been trained today are expected to go into the larger society and also enlighten members of their various groups. And what is the message? The message of social distancing and other measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
And that's it on the news update for this hour. Let's take a quick break and return. Thank you, Mike. It's about time for me to look at what's happening in the papers. I'm going to start with the Punch newspaper this morning, and it starts like this. It says, infected health workers rise from 40 to 113 in 1 week. Now, that is an alarming number, I have to say. It also says here, COVID-19 patients seeking alternative treatment. Federal government laments. Donate your buildings as isolation centers, minister begs Nigerians. Sanwo-Olu blames late border airport closure for spread. Moving to the top of the page here, it says $3.4 billion support IMF to conduct due diligence on CBN. National Assembly, Atiku, others salute Nigerians on Workers' Day, which is today. 3,256 listed as CBN begins 50 billion naira COVID-19 fund disbursement. Nigerians, China agree over Guangzhou accommodation for 207 eviction. At the bottom of the page here, it says buses conveying Zamfara Kaduna miners intercepted in Oshun. States using COVID-19 to make money, Northern elders allege. On mystery deaths, 5 family members die in Enugu. Page 5 has more on that. INEC to review resumption pending polls next week. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch. Now, if I move on to the Nation newspaper now, it says isolation centers running out of space for patients. Government seeks home treatment. FCT renovates cemeteries. 113 health workers infected. U.S. to give go-ahead for trial drug. At the top there, Mayday tears for workers amid COVID-19. Ngige says we'll secure jobs. INEC to ratify guidelines for Edo-Ondo elections. Governor okays chloroquine for COVID-19. Mohammed says, I vouch for it. At the bottom of the page here, it says Nigeria's oil, gas exports to fall by $26.6 billion, says IMF. And at the bottom there, it says power generation dips to 1,601 megawatts. I'm going to read from the little graph they have here, little chart rather. It says COVID-19 global cases have hit 3.3 million cases worldwide. 3.3 million, goodness me. Presently, deaths worldwide total 233,639 people as at the time of this report. And so far, 1,037,905 people have recovered worldwide. In Nigeria, we have 1,932 confirmed cases at the time of this report and 58 deaths. Meanwhile, 319 people have recovered, and as at yesterday, 204 new cases. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation newspaper. On the cover of the Daily Sun, a similar headline to the Nation here. It says, COVID-19 bed space crisis hits Lagos. We've run out of bed space, says NCDC. Kano overtakes FCT in cases. 113 doctors test positive. Wow. Meanwhile, an 8-story building collapsed in Owerri. One died, one dead, 14 rescued, many trapped. Fear grips indigenous oil producers. Banks over 1.6 trillion naira loan. Firm seeks CBN's intervention. On Workers' Day, NECA seeks support for informal sector. Nupeng, Atiku pay tribute to healthcare workers in anti-COVID war frontline. EU delegation distributes food items to 2,157 households in the FCT. And Archbishop Kaigama harps on equity in sharing palliatives. That's the Daily Sun. And that's all we have time for with the headlines for this hour.
I said to a friend of mine a while ago, I'm going off on a 1-week silent retreat. No phones, no internet, no TV, no music, no nothing. Just me and my prayer and my books. And person was like, you are really badass, so you are really great. Like, I really want to do that. I really want to be like people like you who do all these great things. I want to be able to be quiet for a long time. And, because I have an ego like many of you, I was about to just play it cool and be like, yeah, we do these things. It comes very easily to us. But it can be a trap, because if you start pretending to be what you are not, or if you start pretending to be special because other people want you to be special, then you put yourself in a trap. You start telling little lies. You start forgetting your limitations. You start thinking that you are better than you are. You start thinking that you are greater than you are. You start trying to present a front to them. And I knew that this thing that this guy was saying wasn't the truth of my situation. So I quickly cut it short and I said, no. Actually, going off for 1 week is incredibly hard for me. Sometimes I want to run out of whatever, the hotel, the resort, or my home. After like 3 days, my mind is going crazy. I really want to find out what's happening in the news. I really want to go to Google. I had to let him know that it's actually not easy for me to do this thing that makes you think I'm some sort of guru. And immediately I said that, 2 things happened. First, I felt a burden lifted from my shoulder. But secondly, I could see his eyes be happy, because suddenly he realized, this guy is a human being just like me. And I can try this thing he's doing, because it might be hard for me, but if he can do it, then so can I. Adulation can be a trap. But the more you let people know that you're as human as they are, the more you make it easier for them to do the things that you do almost as well as you can.
Yeah, thank you so much for that one, Chude.
Yeah, welcome back. And of course, May Day, International Workers' Day. It's known as Labor Day in some countries.
Yeah.
Workers' Day, Labor Day, and all of that. It's a celebration or commemoration of workers. Almost everyone is a worker in
their own way.
In their own way, whatever you do. So it's just a day to say, hey, we've been working. Let's celebrate ourselves. So happy Workers' Day.
Happy Workers' Day to everyone.
Yeah, working from home, and yeah.
So there are so many ways, around the world people celebrate May Day. Some use festivals, some use, carnivals and things like that. Some offices and companies give their staff gifts, celebrate. Yeah, they give them something, even if it's like a corporate branded gift item. They give their staff something.
Okay.
Yeah. What? You're expecting something from our company?
So I made a gift. It's not a bad idea,
As far as salary came in.
That's a nice one. Made a gift.
What?
Made a gift. You know, there's this running joke about ladies who wanting gifts at every season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, it's when it's Christmas, they want a Christmas gift. When it's Easter, they want an Easter gift. But, you know, where they could even ask for a gift on your own birthday. Like,
wow.
You know, there's a running joke that way. But hey, it's good to share, especially at this time when it's not
something productive, something that will aid your workers. So I heard about a company about 4 or 5 years ago who gifted their staff with a course, a free course that would that would have cost them a lot of money. So we're not saying it has to be an actual physical thing. Yeah,
that's nice.
But the origins and celebrations, the earliest known May Day celebrations appeared in the festival of Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers. Now this was during the Roman Republic era, like so as far back as that, workers have been celebrated on the 1st of May. Now, it also has some origins in Germanic countries and, Germanic language is like the origin of a lot of languages. So they say English language is a Germanic language.
True.
And there are a lot of similarities between the languages. So it's been going on for so long. There are a lot of traditions with the Queen, speaking to her workers and things like that over the years. So I'm wondering how because I know that workers used to also, I think there was some kind of march past sometime before.
March past.
Or was it like a march past kind of thing that used to happen?
What happens is that the labor union or labor congress would come out and have briefings, and yes, there's some sort of a march past.
Yeah.
Because the president of the NLC, of course, they are addressed and all of that in the stadium at times. That's normally how it is in Nigeria here. So I remember.
But obviously, with social distancing.
Yeah. I remember the days of Comrade Adams Oshomole, who, when he was the president of NLC for quite a long while, he was one president that we got to hear quite a lot about in the news, and he was always being very charismatic, and so it was a day to check about and then look at the promises from government and see if government have fulfilled those promises to workers and all of that. Talk about the workers' plight, talk about their challenges, what they need, and all of that. So it's a good one.
Very, very important.
It's a good one.
Day to remember workers, because without the workers, things can't happen. And I wanted to mention this because obviously a lot of people know that the lockdown has been mainly Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja. It started there first, basically.
Yeah, it started there.
And the fact that there's sort of like a partial relief of the lockdown happening next week, it goes to show that the number of workers here has a major impact on the economy.
It does.
And without opening up the states, it's going to be really challenging for the state to recover a lot that must have been lost during the lockdown. So hopefully, as long as we keep our heads up, we can make things happen.
Yesterday, I was looking at the map of the state, and I've known, but I kind of realized how small Lagos as a state is. It's quite a very small state. I mean, you have Ekpe and Badagry at both ends, and then
Ikorodu.
You have Ikorodu is up here.
Yeah, up there.
Up here, there's Ekpe. There's Ekpe this way. There's Badagry this way. Then up here, there's what now? Agege. Agege up down here, and then Etiosa just by. So and I thought about it, I was like, okay, from Agege to Etiosa, that's more than almost halfway through the state, and you can do that in say less than an hour.
If there's no traffic.
If there's no traffic, definitely. So it's quite a small state, a bit overpopulated. Well, not a bit, it's quite overpopulated, yes, but like you said, we have a number of workers in Lagos State, and it means quite a lot, which is why when we resume on Monday, we really should take care, should take care. We had mentioned it earlier, in the buses, really should watch out. Especially if if you're going to public transport, if you're going to transit publicly, man, you do have to take care, not just for yourself, for your family also.
Yes, of course.
Because it's not about, because I thought about it, some people like, okay, I know this person and all that, this person, your family member, of course, would infect you if they do have it. So please.
So a lot of people keep saying, I keep hearing things like, you can't catch me, you can't catch me. So we're actually not thinking about the individual. We're thinking about that R number. So that R number is the number of people that person could possibly infect. So the number of people in the household on an average is number 3 to 5, right? In one household. So that becomes your R number. How many people could you possibly infect? Think about that 3 to 5 people that you could infect if you decide not to cover up, if you decide not to wash your hands, if you decide not to use a hand sanitizer. So that is the reason why we're saying mask up, glove up, or wash your hands and keep sanitizing as much as possible.
Mask is important. It's important. It will aid. You know, it's going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful because you definitely want to talk to people and all of that, so that it won't drop some things in the.
But please take care. Please. Make sure your mask when you're putting on your mask, make sure your hands are clean. That's one. Then two, try and find a mask that sits comfortably on the face so you don't touch your face so often. Because I have heard that a lot of people touch their faces more because they're wearing a mask.
Very
so
true.
it's increased the number of times you're touching your face.
Very
so
true.
Once you put it on, leave it. Let it be. Don't play with it. Don't fuss around with it. Don't pull it down, pull it up every 10 minutes. Once it's on, it's on. Just leave it on. That's the only way to stay safe.
You know, I've seen different kinds of masks this period. I am not trying to douse anybody's entrepreneurial spirit, but I've seen different types of masks. And as much as it is good that many people are doing masks, it means that, of course, that the message is getting across. I've seen some masks that would rather, they will suffice as sleeping aids instead of masks.
Yeah.
I've seen some very nice looking masks. Sub-Zero, plenty Sub-Zero and Scorpions on the way. They look very nice. And they have some very plain ones that when you just I'm wondering, you know. Yeah. But please, whichever way, you know, the point is a mask would stop. So there was people that asked about Ankara materials that are being used.
Fabric,
cotton is the most preferable fabric according to a number of health officials who say cotton is preferable to use. When there's cotton, then But then there's a talk that no matter the mask, once there's a blockage, it's better than nothing.
Yes.
So different masks have different levels of protection. There's the N95 mask.
That was, I think, what they said, 96, 98% with those N95s.
Exactly.
Then the surgical one, that is the most common one, is like a 95%.
That surgical one is good.
Yeah,
it's good.
95%.
Blue and white. And then people go about different ways to wear it, whether the blue side or the white side. There's different
cloth masks bring it down substantially.
Okay.
To about 60% coverage. Apparently, this is, you know, according to some findings.
Some findings.
And then all those bandana and all that, you're on between a 45 to 50%, coverage. But some coverage is better than nothing at all.
Than nothing at all.
So hey, at this point, we need to just make sure we are staying safe.
So this is what I think now. When it starts. Like on Monday, and you have to wear. So if you are seen without the mask, what will happen? So let's say an official, all right, security official sees you without a mask.
Yeah.
I would wish that they have masks
to give out
on standby to give out, because what would you do? You want to? Are we going to arrest them and put them in a place without mask and they are all tied up together? So what do we do for?
What I noted, there was a little bit of traffic. And when I say traffic, there was a checkpoint causing a row of vehicles as I was leaving a supermarket. And I saw the security officials with their own masks on, stopping vehicles. And I could see people in the other cars looking for their mask, putting it on.
Put it on.
Because there's one thing Nigerians don't like, to be delayed. Anything that would be delaying me for any reason, I don't like it. You just don't want to be slowed down. Everybody's rushing somewhere. So I think Nigerians, on an average, especially in Lagos, just don't want that stress of they're going to stop me. So as soon as they see you, that you're covered up, you're masked up, they should let you be.
All right. That's it. We'll take this short recess now. There's still quite a lot more to come on the show. Don't go nowhere. I hope you can also hear me clearly. You're on now. How are you doing, Rabo?
I'm good.
How have you been holding up during this lockdown period?
I mean, I've been watching movies left, right, center. I think I've amassed about 150.
What? Wow. Now that's a heavy count. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Extraction. Chris Hemsworth. Now, there's been a lot said about this movie. What are your first thoughts after you saw this movie? What were your first thoughts?
First thoughts, great cinematography, great action sequences. I mean, there was one that was about for 30 minutes, one shot all through. They had to do several takes to get it, and it took about months for them to properly do that scene. But it's just an action movie to me, something with razzmatazz, but no content per se. It's what people really need these days. Nobody wants to think too much. So it's a first attempt by the director who used to be a stunt coordinator. So really, it's just a movie you just watch and put it aside.
Exactly. Now that's the point. Now a number of people have been expecting a wonderful storyline. It's been the same thing with Avengers and all of that. Whenever you see an action movie, John Wick and all the rest, what should I mean for the action movie? We just want to go out and see the stunts and all of that. Does it need to have a good storyline?
Yes, it needs to have a good storyline because people are tired of just wanting to see the same thing. Because it's action, boom, bang, you're done with it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone, and the rest. But you see, action movies like Salt actually have a great storyline. They have a background. They can even do it to the point where you can create a sequel from it. Nigerians also are trying to enter that action genre with the movie Ratnik. It hasn't been released because of COVID-19, but everybody wants a good story, even if at the end of the day you're pulling out a gun to shoot somebody. We need to know why you're pulling out that gun, what that shooting is going to lead to. We want to be carried along, not just boom bang. It's not really interesting anymore. That's my own take, really.
Okay, good. Now you mentioned excellent cinematography. Let's talk about the actors. Chris Hemsworth in the lead role. Did he do enough justice to that role as per his
100%.
acting skills?
100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean, you can't bash that guy for acting. He's a great actor, So he's just in a situation where, he's supposed to get his payday, and, he has a relationship with the Russo brothers from Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm sure he's just trying to support this new director guy who used to do stunt coordination for them. So as an actor, I'm not going to bash Chris Hemsworth at all. In fact, he even did a great job. The only issue I have is the story itself.
Okay, generally, what are your thoughts? What would you rate this movie? Say, out of 10. Okay, no, let's do out of 5 stars. How many stars would you give Extraction? And would you recommend it?
Yes, I would recommend Extraction because people are at home, they don't have what to do. It's a movie that would even do well in cinemas, in my own opinion, because it's colorful, the set design is awesome, the equipment, the props, everything. I mean, the haircut Chris Hemsworth had Steve himself is, very nice. It's attractive. Ladies will want to see it, So all those things put together, it's just kind of like people. You understand? People these days, you just see so many razzmatazz, you really don't know what's inside. But at the end of the day, you just get what you can get. So with all that being said, over 5, I'll give it a 2.
After you gave it after all this wonderful hype, you just gave Extraction 2 stars.
I'm a big fan of storyline.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of wanting my movie to teach me something, even if I want to be entertained at the end of the day. There has to be a message.
So you give Extraction 2 over 5, and you recommend it for people
10.
to go. You recommend it for people to go see. Now, the way the movie ended, we're not giving spoilers here, but does it look like Extraction would have a sequel?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I even said earlier, with Salt and other action movies where you kind of be creative about your ending and you leave it be open-ended, just kind of like when you're chatting with a lady and you don't want to make it too obvious, you just leave something open-ended so that you can go back to it if maybe the chat wasn't going well at that moment. So they kind of did that. And I expected it because such a gem that could be polished, because even in Marvel Cinematic Universe, the first few films, like Game of Thrones, the first few episodes were not great. So you're going to have like a bad run. I'm not going to throw it under the water like that because this guy is a first-time director. He has the directing down path. He has the fighting down path. He just needs to go and get a good story person, maybe like Aaron Sorkin or Steven Soderbergh or somebody, even Vanessa Kanu from Nollywood, the likes of them, Amy Amiobi and all. So he just needs to polish the story. You have beautiful actors like the lady there. She's a beautiful lady, the Iranian lady. She's beautiful, you understand? So you already have those elements. You can just get somebody who is a great story coordinator or something to kind of polish it Just like with Kingsman Golden Circle, which was a very, irrelevant sequel when you shot somebody point blank in the head and you came up with another story saying there was a technology that would, bring you back to life after shooting someone in the head. I know it's film, but come on now. You understand? But this case, Chris Hemsworth, we know what happened. If you go and watch it, you know what happened.
All right.
Such a thing could be salvaged.
Okay. All right. Let's run up with this. What other movies would you recommend for this time for people to watch out? What movies are you watching? What few would you recommend? Give me about 5 or 6.
Okay. Just to let people know, I'm not only watching 2020 movies. I'm going around. You understand? And with how everything is, you can't really watch only 2020 movies. So there's a movie that actually came out on Netflix, 2020, Brian Banks. It's about a high school football player. He was supposed to go to the pros and, he met a girl and something really happened that ruined his life. It's a true story. So it's something that you'd really watch and be involved in.
All right.
All right. Check out Brian Banks.
All right. Thank you so much, Irabo. I wish we had more time, but then we have to wrap up. Thank you. That was Extraction. We'll take this short break now and we will be back with the second lap of the show.
All those worries and chase happiness. Today is International Workers' Day, May 1st, 2020.
Yep, a new month, of course, and times like this, of course, is a time, of course, to give wings to the effort of your dreams as you spend quality time indoors. Now, it's a time to reevaluate, restructure, replan yourself so that on Monday, when we have a gradual ease of a lockdown, you can move forward with the much desired gusto that you need.
We actually need that boost sometimes, and especially when you've been down for quite a while, you need that boost to get back up again. And that's why we would like to welcome you to the second hour of the show. The weekend is just around the corner. How many of you are tired of staying at home right now? I know someone actually typed on my page that they were jealous of the fact that I could go to work. And I kind of
understand.
Who would have thought that you could ever envy someone that has to go to work when everybody else is at home? Thank you so much for staying tuned. Now, this is the second hour of your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, of course, remember, of course, to practice social distancing and take care of yourself. Get a mask if you have to step out of the house. I am Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. The show is streaming live on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Now, of course, you can also be a part of this show by downloading the app and watching us anywhere you can once you have internet connection around the world.
Now, I'd say I'm a Chris Hemsworth fan. Like, that's my hall pass right there, Yeah. For those who understand what a hall pass is.
So,
do you think someone like that could come to Nigeria? I'm just saying, can Chris Hemsworth come here?
Due to the time, I just wanted Irabo's thoughts. I didn't want to give my own thoughts because of time constraint. But look, for me, man, I'll give that movie a 4.5. And the reason is because, look, man, when you want to go and watch an action movie, you are not, look, you don't go there for story. If you want to watch story, see, your mind, there's plenty that you can, there's plenty you can watch. There's plenty other movies. There are thousands of other movies. For an action flick, man, imagine you want to see Avengers. Say you want to see Avengers. It had a wonderful story, by the way. But then I just want to see action. It's a complete cinema movie.
I mentioned earlier that I had watched the movie. I watched it yesterday, as it happens, and there is a constant flow of action. So I heard somewhere about the definition of an action flick. There must be some form of action every 2 minutes, and that was consistent. There was the fine girl, consistent. There was a lot of gore, consistent. But the effects were not too much. So then he mentioned cinematography earlier as well. There was something they did there was a point, I don't know whether it was, I don't know how they did it, where they had to climb from one roof to the other.
Okay.
And it was either the cameraman or the camera itself that jumped with them. I don't know. Just look out for that scene if you get to see
So
the movie.
even
I'm
the
wondering
car,
how they did it. It was
if you
crazy.
see the making of the movie, even the car chase scenes,
Yeah.
the director had to hoist the camera on another car.
Yeah.
And if you see the making of the movie, he was on the bonnet of another car.
Wow.
And going on the car chase scene himself. So normally what happens is that at
Wow.
times you see people on rigs and you see the cameraman maybe seated on a rig or inside another car. But this one, he was strapped
To the car.
to the car.
Wow.
So he was
Wow.
strapped to it to give you that feel as though you were inside the car. So he was strapped
It's
to the
that
bonnet of the
effort
car.
that goes into movies
And-
like this that make, Hollywood so special.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, the day we have that kind of effort put into movies here in Nigeria,
It'll make sense.
Yeah, it will. It
Okay,
will.
all right. Let's head
But
to the news now.
yeah, we have to take the news update, and we start with this story. Nigeria recorded 204 new coronavirus cases overnight, pushing the country's total to 1,932. This time around, Kano State overtook Lagos in the highest daily number of new cases. Of the 204 confirmed cases, Kano had 80. Lagos had 45, Gombe 12, Bauchi and Sokoto 9 cases each, Borno and Edo 7 each, Rivers and Ogun 6 each. The Federal Capital Territory, Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa recorded 4 cases each, while Kaduna recorded 3 cases. Oyo, Delta and Nasarawa recorded 2 cases each, while Ondo and Kebbi recorded 1 case each. The number of discharged persons has also risen to 319. COVID-19 related deaths now stands at 58. And as Nigeria gradually eases the lockdown measures occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, civil servants on grade level 14 and above, including those on essential services, are now to resume on Monday, 4th of May. The head of service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi-Eson, who gave the directive, says offices are to open 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and close at 2 p.m. on each day. The concerned officers are to ensure full compliance with the directives and advise on the prevention of COVID-19. Permanent secretaries and chief executive officers are also advised to ensure that hand washing and sanitation materials are placed at entrances and strategic points in their MDAs. The number of health workers in Nigeria to have contracted the coronavirus has jumped to 113. Just about a week ago, the number was 40. Minister of Health, Osage Ohanire, disclosed the latest figure yesterday at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. The minister said a substantial of those infected are from the private healthcare providers.
Not all public health workers. There are some, for a good number, from private hospitals. And if you hear us speaking here frequently against trying to treat coronavirus in private clinics, we're actually referring to people who do so without having necessary precautions, without having necessary training, because they risk infecting themselves and they go home and give this infection to their family, and that is not the right thing.
Coronavirus has now infected more than 3.2 million people and killed at least 233,000 worldwide. More than 1 million people around the world have also recovered. More than 1 million cases have been recorded in the United States, with at least 63,000 deaths. More than 29,500 new U.S. cases recorded on Thursday. More than half of all states will be partially reopened by the end of the week. Nine new infections have been recorded in South Korea, a single-digit rise for the 3rd consecutive day. 8 of the 9 cases were believed to have been brought from overseas. The country has recorded about 10,000 infections with 248 deaths. China has reported 12 new cases of coronavirus. 6 of these cases were imported. The overall number of confirmed cases in China now stands at 82,874, although more than 90% of those have recovered. India is preparing to lift its nationwide lockdown on Sunday and reopen state borders. South Africa is set to begin easing some of its coronavirus restrictions after 5 weeks of lockdown, but the government will deploy more troops on the streets and impose an overnight curfew. Some businesses will be allowed to reopen, restaurants can deliver food, and families will be allowed to leave the home to exercise. Away from the coronavirus cases, at least 400 persons are now homeless after a rainstorm wreaked havoc in Okegbo, a community of Ileoluji, Okegbo local government area of Ondo State. Over 100 houses were badly affected in the unfortunate incident, and the victims have called on the state government to urgently come to their rescue. Correspondent Ayodeji Moradeyo reports.
This is certainly not the best of time for some residents of this community. Rainstorm occasioned by heavy downpour wreaked havoc here, affecting over 100 buildings and leaving so many people homeless. Roofs of houses, schools, churches, business centers, among others, were not spared. Some of the buildings could not withstand the storm and they caved in.
The devastating effect of the rainstorm here in Okegbo has left many residents in total shock. Many of them are counting their losses.
It affected our light also. Like the transformer in our street now was affected by the rainstorm, and then some other, let me say like the police station as well, it was affected, and so many buildings as well. Based on our electricity stuffs too, because it was affected. Since Saturday now, there's no light in the town.
You can see what has done to our house now. We make an effort to see help, no help from around. And you can see now, the owner of the house, my father now, is no more.
Let me just cut it short. It's the breeze that carried the house when the breeze is much. So even though the old man is inside there, if there is any help that people can help us, let government just consider.
The lawmaker representing the area in the State House of Assembly described the incident as unfortunate. He appealed to the state government to assist the victims.
This rainstorm, it has never happened in Okegbo like this before, and it's a big disaster for us in Okegbo. I am calling the government of Ondo State, our able governor, the governor that listens to people, to come to our aid.
The victims hope that government will urgently come to their aid, even as COVID-19 ravages the world. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.
And that's it on the news updates for this hour. Stay tuned after this quick break. Welcome back. It's about time for us to take a quick look at what's happening in the papers. I'm starting with the Vanguard newspaper now, and it says COVID-19 job cuts loom as Buhari fails, or rather falls back on Orosaye report. President orders SGF, HOS to implement Orosaye report. And it also says we won't tolerate job losses, according to the NLC, and Serap hail move. I've authorized use of chloroquine for treatment of coronavirus, says Bauchi governor. It says here, soldier killed, policeman shot as security men clash in Delta. Governors playing pranks with COVID-19 to get money, say the NEF. COVID-19, 113 health workers infected, according to the federal government. We're struggling with bed spaces in Lagos, say the NCDC. Lagos records 45 new cases as confirmed cases rise to 1,932. And on May Day, workers lament unfair practices, warn against post-COVID-19 job insecurity. I have This Day newspaper here with me as well. It says COVID-19, with rising cases, federal government considers home treatment of patients. Intensifies talks with hoteliers on use of facilities to expand bed spaces. Malls use of military to secure isolation centers. Says 113 health workers infected nationwide. 204 new cases push tally to 1,932, with 319 discharged. 80 fresh incidences. Kano displaces FCT as second epicenter with 219 infected. High hopes for vaccine developed by Oxford scientists. At the top of the page there it says, Chike Obi, Nigeria needs $20 billion to avert economic crisis. IMF urges Nigeria to adopt new borrowing limits. Supports CBN's caution on monetary policy. Meanwhile, oil price rises to $25 as U.S. inventories drop. I'm moving on to the Nigerian Tribune here, and it says, Labour says no to arbitrary cut in workers' salaries. Salutes health workers, advocates reduction in food, drug prices. Will celebrate May Day, say organized labor. Amnesty International calls for protection of health workers. At the top of the page, it says, Nigeria must fully repay 1.224 trillion naira loan by 2025, according to the IMF. Loan is non-concessional at about 2% interest. Disbursement expected by Friday, according to the country rep. Still on COVID-19 here, it says states playing politics with numbers, according to Northern Elders. And police probe death of family of five members in Enugu. I have the Punch newspaper here with me as well. Infected health workers rise from 40 to 113 in 1 week. COVID-19 patients seeking alternative treatment, federal government laments. Donate your buildings as isolation centers, minister begs Nigerians. Sanwo-Olu blames late border airport closure for the spread. National Assembly, Atiku, others salute Nigerians on Workers' Day. 3,256 listed as CBN begins 50 billion naira COVID-19 fund disbursement. Nigerians, China disagree over Guangzhou accommodation for 207 eviction. At the bottom of the page now, buses conveying Zamfara Kaduna miners intercepted in Osun, and states using COVID-19 to make money, say the Northern Elders allege. And I think we still have time for quite a few papers here. It says on the cover of The Nation, isolation centers running out of space for patients. Government seeks home treatment. FCT renovates cemeteries. 113 health workers infected. U.S. to give go-ahead for trial drug. The global cases for COVID-19 at the time of this report say 3,300,058 people. Then recorded deaths internationally stand at 233,639. Meanwhile, 1,037,905 have recovered. In Nigeria presently, at the time of this report, it says 1,932 cases confirmed in Nigeria with 58 deaths and 319 recovered cases. At the bottom of the page here, Nigeria's oil gas exports to fall by $26.6 billion, says IMF, and power generation dips to 1,600 megawatts. Moving quickly to the Guardian newspaper now, it says here, subscribers lament slow speed as lockdown raises data use. Should I call it data use? It says traffic increases by 15% as telcos revenue grows. Virtual operations take center stage, cut overhead costs by 70%. Google makes video conferencing free for everyone, everywhere. Bauchi governor orders treatment of COVID-19 patients with chloroquine, Dectomax. And I'll wrap with this. COVID-19 forces NLC TUC to go online with May Day celebrations. Federal government will prevent job loss, says Ngige. How to avoid looming recession by labor. And finally, aviation workers, others rally against COVID-19. And that's all we can take on the headlines in the dailies for this morning.
The global virus that's ravaging, of course, everyone. But then, hey, we have two people today to discuss with us on the big game, two sports analysts, sports enthusiasts. And of course, on-air personalities, I have Tony Odoa and Sam Adeyemi. Both of them are going to be joining us via Zoom. Today, both of them are going to be on both sides of a divide. One will be expecting, Tony will be expecting that doesn't want football to resume, while Sam would want football to resume. Now, of course, we all know that France, Belgium and Holland have cancelled their leagues, and there are calls for England, Spain and Germany to do the same. It's been raging on, but then I have both of them in the house. Hello, Tony and Sam. Welcome. It's great to have you guys on the show. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Tony's up first. Tony doesn't want the leagues to start up. Why is it that you don't want football leagues around the world to start?
Good morning, Mike. It's not really what I want. It's just what is actually right, what I believe is right. I would want to watch football, definitely. But I don't believe that it should start up because of this pandemic that we're facing right now. It's larger than what it is. We have to put sentiment apart and just end the season now across all leagues and prepare for the next season. Put measures in place to prepare for the next season.
All right. But Sam, you believe that there are safety measures enough that are okay for leagues to start. Why should the league start?
Totally, that's my belief, right? You're looking at a controlled environment, talking about the stadiums, everything that's necessary is what is being proposed by all the leagues that are saying there should be a new one. If not for the start, yesterday we were supposed to be having the Bundesliga have been ratified to start next weekend, but for the Prime Minister of Germany who has put that decision on hold. You have to look at the money involved in this. This is the most of the valuable. I know life, like Tony mentioned, is far more than sports, but football, it's a unifying factor. I've always said this. This is something that everyone always tends to gather around. And when people that you want to stay at home, and when they have the opportunity to go and stay at home and be able to watch football, I think it would be a good one to keep them right there. Football is something that unites us all. And though it is a contact sport, I think it can be well regulated and managed by medical personnel, doing all the tests that is needed, and also certifying anyone that is fit enough, also medically right to go onto the pitch. Because it's a controlled environment.
Okay.
That's why I believe that.
Now, Tony, Sam says a controlled environment. Now, reports have it that even the EPL are saying that when they start games, they're going to test players twice a week. Don't you think that that's enough? Testing them twice a week to ensure that they are safe, or that they have or they don't have the virus, as the case may be. Don't you think that's enough, Tony, if they are tested twice a week?
It might appear to be enough, but also note that if they start the league again, they're going to rush it, because they have just a short window to try and end the season. Normally, you know how it is. It would be weekends, and all that. But now it would be weekend and weekends, and all that. But now they have to rush it. And when you're looking at all these things, is that really a realistic? Is that really a realistic component of football, where you are just rushing the fixtures? You say, okay, we have it almost every two days and all that. What is the players' commitment going to be like? Because they know how deadly it is. Look at Italian players. Most of Paulo Dybala has tested 4 times positive. What is his mindset going into play a match? I know it is a contact sport, like you mentioned and Sam mentioned. However, these things will come into play. These footballers are human beings as well, and we have to consider this. Cancel the season now. If at all, you must find a conclusion to the season. Let there be playoffs for both European competitions and delegation sports. Let there be playoffs. That's what I say.
Considering now, Tony, still on you, considering the money involved, because that's a major point for them. Considering the money involved, people are thinking about that suits and countersuits will fly and all around, and that's what they're also trying to avoid. Do you think that the money is enough reason for them to put those players at risk, as you say?
I do not think that it is. Without that money, every club will survive. Even the world of football will survive. Man U is estimated to lose around 116 million, for example, if the season is cancelled as is. But these things, you can always come back from it. You can do your best now, to just cancel this season. A lot of players have already started taking pay cuts and all that. So people are already living with the condition. You cancel it now, you can plan well for next season. Even that we don't know when this pandemic will end.
All right, Sam, you mentioned something about how it is important for football to start. Since we are at home now, Sam, and it's important for football to be played so that, it can lift people's spirit. I mean, UEFA President Alexander Seferin mentioned that people need football now more than ever before, and that's what you're trying to push out there. But then, even though you want it, we've spoken about safety measures. In spite of the fact that, yes, we need football, do you think that enough is being done to ensure that those players are safe, that they don't infect themselves and, in extension, infect maybe members of their family and something like that?
If you look at the top leagues in Europe, especially, they are putting a lot of safety measures in place. Medical personnel and a lot of the test kits are being procured by the club themselves. And so let's leave the money aside, like you did say, and let's concentrate on the people also. There are a lot of people involved in football, much more than the 22 players we see on the pitch and the 8 sitting on the bench. And a lot of these people also they have their families. So we're talking about a camera crew that could be up to 200 for a particular game. And all of that we're trying to streamline right about now because we don't want many people clustering together in a place. And you look at that and you feel, why don't we just start this now? If we can run tests twice on each player. And also there's been a proposal of making 5 substitutes in a game because of this. We know a lot of players are not as fit as they usually are because they haven't been able to train as much. And that's why they substitute and they're going to be breaks in between. Not the regular 45 minutes. They proposal that they are going to be breaks. And there's some measure that is being put in place, particularly in Bundesliga, which was ready to kick off next weekend up until the German government decided to put a hold on it for a while. Italy and Spain are the most ravaged part in Europe when you talk about it. And yet, they are already finding a way to come about it. The Lega Serie A and the LFP in Spain are looking at this. There is a way we can still play football. Even though among all the sports, it seems to be one of the most, one of the sports with the most contact with people, but everyone understands what we are facing right about now. And football is also defeat this virus, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. It was great hearing what both of you think. And, let's hope that the best decision is taken that would put into consideration the lives of the players and, of course, their families. Thank you very much, Tony and Sam, for joining me today on The Big Game to talk about resumption of football around the globe. We'll take this break now. We will be right back after this.
Chef Mike. Welcome to Urban Chef's Masterclass. Today we'll be preparing Yamarita Club. Hope you get to learn 1 or 2 things in this video. Thank you.
Okay, are you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Hi, good morning. Okay,
Hi, good
Uzoeshi
morning.
is a talented actor, former model. Oh, I think you're still modeling now. You're still modeling. It's not former, Abi. Once a model, always a model. He's really popular
Yeah, you
for
know.
his variety of roles in movies, from action to romantic comedies. And he's here with us, joining us via Skype. How's it going?
Well, it's going, to be honest. It's going.
Going where? Where is it going?
You see, that's the problem. We don't exactly know where it's going. All we know is that it's going. So, yeah, you know.
Okay, so when you heard about the lockdown a few weeks ago, what was the first thing that came to mind?
First thing that came to mind was my concern. My God, are we ready for this? You know, then how long is this going to take? Because to be honest, you know, these things, it's a pathogen we're dealing with here. You know, it's like fighting a war. You never know when it's going to end. You know, so are we going to be indoors? What kind of effect is it going to have on the economy, on the middle class, the lower class? You know, all these are things that, you know, kept flashing through my head.
So you were thinking quite big. You weren't thinking, you know. So I've asked this question of other people before, and the first thing they said was, do I have enough in my account? You know, what do I do next? What about work? How has it been, as in being an actor during this period? What have you noted? How's it been?
Well, work is on lockdown for us as it is for everybody else. More for us because, to be very honest, most of what Nollywood produces, basically, we do a lot of romantic comedies, dramas, and 9 out of 10 times it's usually boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl. So there are a lot of intimate scenes, and we're dealing with a pathogen here that is very easily transferred or easily transferable. So definitely, this has a very, very serious, you know, impact on us as an industry for now, until we can get to the point where our stories can evolve, you know, to better suit the times that we're in right now.
Okay, so I'm thinking about some work you must have been doing before the lockdown came up. So how has it affected your pending projects?
Well, the work I've been doing, okay, there was one particular one that was actually pretty funny. There was one particular one I was doing just before the lockdown happened. This was post the announcement of Covid-19 and the fact that it had come into Nigeria. And I think at the time we had maybe like 5 cases or something, you know, but already we were all very conscious. I, for one, was very particular, you know, we're all very conscious. And we had to shoot all the love scenes Bollywood style. You know what I mean? Just look into her eyes and that's it.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again. You had to shoot it what style?
Bollywood style, like Indian film industry style.
Okay.
You know, just look into her eyes and no intimacy, no kissing, no touching, not too much, you know.
So no more intimacy in that.
It was Bollywood style.
Okay, I think I'm connecting now. So no contact, no physical contact
no
at all.
No contact whatsoever. None.
Wow.
None.
Wow.
You know,
okay.
And I had projects that I was even scheduled to shoot outside of the country, but I couldn't travel anymore because obviously coronavirus happened. You know, so here we are.
Yeah,
That's
so,
it's going. Where is it going? We don't know. It's going.
You've always been quite an outgoing person, you know, someone who is like the life of the party. When you enter a space, you know, whenever you enter the studio here, you know, you light up everywhere and you're always smiling. But being in one place, what have you discovered about yourself being at home for this length of time?
What I've discovered about myself being at home is that I like the quiet. Funny enough, I begin to appreciate more the quiet. I begin to appreciate more the introspection that the quiet allows you to do. Because we live in Lagos, and Lagos, to be honest, is a very loud, boisterous city. You know, so it's not often you get times like this when nothing is happening and you have the time to sit down quietly and look inwards. And so for me, this was a blessing. I discovered that I like the quiet. I discovered I like to read. I discovered I enjoyed meditating, amongst other things, you know.
Have you joined the, you know, League of New Chefs? Do you cook?
To be honest, I've always like to, fiddle around in the kitchen, just try my hands on new stuff. So the League of New Chefs, not exactly. But,
So how many?
yeah, I'm cooking.
How much food have you burnt?
Oh my goodness! How to answer that question? Like, what else are we doing if not sleeping and waking? Now, sleeping and waking and eating, and so like it's a lot of food.
All right. You did promise once you came on the show. You promised that you were going to come and cook in our kitchen, but we're still going to hold you to that, and we're not going to let you burn anything. Don't worry, we got you. But okay, it's always great talking to you. It's always fun to see you.
It's always great.
Stay safe.
It's always great being. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. To all of you watching at home, there's still quite a bit to come on Wake Up Nigeria. So far, a wonderful 2 hours of your favorite family breakfast show has gone by, but we need to welcome you to the third leg.
Yeah, welcome. It's great to have you. For those of you who have been here with us, thank you. We are going to share the next 45 minutes. You missed 2 hours, but then, hey, come on, we are definitely going to have some fun in the following 45 minutes.
Endeavor to stay with us all the way till the end. My name is Titilayo Onyinson.
Mike Mesikeno is mine. Remember, you can... you should wash your hands. I wanted to say you can, but this is not a can thing now. You should wash your hands. Stay safe. Get your mask. I don't know what's going to happen to you from next week. They arrest all of you with that mask and put you all together so you just infect yourselves.
So,
hey, come on.
There's just so much you can do. So please make it easier for yourself and everyone else. Use a face mask and keep your hands clean and keep a distance of about 2 meters from anyone else. Please remember, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv or on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And now send in your comments. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We spoke about some movies. A number of people have already dropped some reactions about Extraction. What do you think about that particular movie? Do you think the story was a big issue for you? Would you love a good story? I don't.
You want action?
Yeah, you just want action, man. What else are you? Is it Tales by Moonlight or Storyland? Well, if it's that one, go and watch it. No, it's not Tales by Moonlight.
We know that if you missed that conversation, you might want to go back and watch it again. You can always catch it on YouTube a bit later on after the show is done.
Definitely.
Or on social media with our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, of course, you can also download our app, and it will allow you to watch us anywhere around the world. Okay, so tweets to us. We'll read some of your tweets. How have you been doing so far? What do you think about the release, the ease of the lockdown? A partial one from next week. What do you think about it? Let's know.
Your opinion. Do you think it should be happening now? Do you think we should stay home a little bit longer?
Let's know.
Let's hear.
All right, and then of course we'll have a Skype conversation with veteran actor and comedian Oke Bakassi.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be quite an interesting one. He'll be with us on the show. We'll get to talk about what he's been doing, and these are the old guys. Do you remember watching the movie Pam Pam? I don't know if you watch Pam Pam.
I think I remember the name.
That was Oke Bakassi.
I think I remember the name. But there were some things I was still not allowed to watch as a child.
No, Pam Pam. Pam Pam was a story. Oke Bakassi and Sophia. So then there's Nkemo. They were the combination. So they were going for these two girls, and they were trying to get money to catch these two girls.
About that.
We will. Yeah. It was Pam Pam was the all those early movies that made us love Oke Bakassi. So Oke Bakassi, of course, is going to be with us on the show.
Yes,
and we had Oke.
Yeah.
Well, today was the day of Okes.
So we had Oke Uzoeshi and Oke Bakassi, two Okes on the show.
Two Okes on the show.
When it comes to comedy, though, there's that good old comedy veteran that people remember. So there was a standard, there was a structure to comedy then. Now it feels like there's no holds barred, anything goes, But then there was that, you had to have a certain poise, a certain energy.
That thing. I think you say is very right. Yeah. What happens in Nollywood today is that you have a number of people. With all due respect, skit makers are doing wonderfully well, and I think that they've earned their right in some degree to be on screen. You see, but what happens is that we get a lot of skit makers, and so you see that a lot of comedy movies now are a combination of different skits. So there's no underlying storyline or that picks or that joins everything together. So you just have, it's almost like different skits.
True.
All pumped together and put in the movie. So the comedy, you know, we're lacking that part.
So you know the skit, the original skit, or should we say a set, when you say from Saturday Night Live standard, or should we take it to Benny Hill? When Benny Hill used to make skits, he used to piece together skits. He would build sets, bring in characters just for a skit.
You know, Saturday Night Live is big. I recall that the most recent episode had Brad Pitt playing Dr. Fauci. You know, and even Dr. Fauci had to say, oh, Brad Pitt did it quite well.
Yeah.
You know, Saturday Night Live will go to very, very large extents. They'll get to detail. You make up somebody look like somebody. You put up a set. I mean, I remember when, what's her name now?
Makeup, everything.
When she played
So
Trump
there's a
and all
certain standard that we need to try and bring
and
up to.
reach up to.
So, which is why, you know, some skits go international and some don't. They just stay.
But our power bearers,
they're already international because of, you know, certain factors. But we'll talk about that another time. We would love to hear your opinion of that on social media as well. But it's about time for me to take the news update at this point. And Nigeria recorded 204 coronavirus cases overnight, pushing the country's total to 1,932. This time around, Kano State overtook Lagos in the highest daily number of cases. Of the 204 confirmed cases, Kano had 80, Lagos had 45, Gombe 12, Bauchi and Sokoto 9 cases each, Borno and Edo 7 each, Rivers and Ogun 6 each. The Federal Capital Territory, Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa recorded 4 cases each, while Kaduna recorded 3 cases. Oyo, Delta and Nasarawa recorded 2 cases each, while Ondo and Kebbi recorded a case each. The number of discharged persons has also risen to 319. COVID-19 related deaths now stands at 58. And as Nigeria gradually eases the lockdown measures occasioned by coronavirus pandemic, civil servants on grade level 14 and above, including those on essential services, are now to resume on Monday, 4th of May. The head of service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, who gave the directive, says offices are to open 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and close at 2 p.m. on each day. The concerned officers are to ensure full compliance with the directives and advise on the prevention of the COVID-19. Permanent secretaries and chief executive officers are also advised to ensure that hand washing and sanitation materials are placed at entrances and strategic points in their MDAs. The number of health workers in Nigeria to have contracted the coronavirus has jumped to 113. Just about a week ago, the number was 40. Minister of Health Osage Ohanire disclosed the latest figure yesterday at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. The minister said a substantial of those infected are from the private healthcare providers.
Not all public health workers. There are some, for a good number, from private hospitals. And if you hear us speaking here frequently against trying to treat coronavirus in private clinics, we're actually referring to people who do so without having necessary precautions, without having necessary training, because they risk infecting themselves and they go home and give this infection to their family, and that is not the right thing.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. So get your comments coming in on social media. Use the hashtag Welcome Nigeria TVC. But we spoke about Extraction, and we have a number of comments already. So that movie has been really, you know, making the rounds.
Waves.
You know, making the waves. So there's also something like a comparison. You've seen Bloodshot, have you?
Oh, no, I
okay, you haven't. So probably you see that. So there's a comparison between Bloodshot and Extraction, and people are giving their thoughts on social media. If you've seen both, what do you think? Which one is preferable to you? For me, man, Bloodshot is kindergarten, where
extraction.
Where extraction is in university.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So, but let's see some comments that are coming in here. This is at Fashpels. Fashpels says, exactly, the concluding part needs a proper check.
Wow.
So the way it ended, the way extraction ended, it gave a loophole for a sequel.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
what, and it's for me, that's a good thing.
It's always great to do that. Most films do that.
In fact, yes, it's common practice.
Yeah.
It's standard industry practice. So you put a loop in a movie, depends on how well the movie does. And then you can think of a sequel. If it doesn't do so well, okay, let's end it there. But with the traction that extraction is gaining, I think that a sequel will be expected.
You have like a very winning formula. You have the Russo brothers involved. Then you have this amazing actor. And then you have action. So you already have a winning formula. Not all winning formulas make money, make waves. And of course, because everybody's at home and it being online on Netflix, it's a lot easier for people to watch. But if you had the opportunity to go out to the cinema to watch it,
this would be a perfect cinema movie.
Are you sure this is a perfect
In fact, someone here
movie?
says, Malam Olukule says, I think the producers of the movie should come out with the concluding part. Hopefully, by next year. There are some questions that needs to be answered. However, the movie dope, giddy gone. The camera angles to every view side is awesome. The movie, not correct one.
For those that are looking for a good shoot 'em up movie, It reminds me of the days of when Eddie Murphy did Beverly Hills Cop. And Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon.
And what's the other one? Oh, goodness me, I remember
So,
the third.
those of you that are chatting extraction, you want story, go and watch Titanic if you want story. Or go and watch, what now? The Notebook. Or go and watch. There are plenty I can give you there. You want story. This is for action buffs, right? Go check it. The other one that we mentioned is Bloodshot. Bloodshot, that is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel, of course, was in that movie. I feel like
the two actors.
Yeah.
Comparing those two actors, those are two powerful actors. So you're comparing a Vin Diesel to
Vin Diesel. So
Vin Diesel has been there now.
The problem, the thing now with Vin Diesel. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. We have some tweets now that will come up. Okay, yeah, that's Malam Olukule, what we mentioned. Yeah, I said that's it. His tweet is there. Says, I think the producers of the movie should come out with the concluding part. Hopefully by next year. There are some questions that needs to be answered. However, the movie dope. I like that. Fashpels is under that and he says exactly. Oluwaseun says, I love your skirt.
Really?
You want to show us the skirt?
Thank you.
You want
me to show my skirt?
You want to?
That's what we look. You like the
skirt?
It's a sequence skirt. Thank you very much.
Sequence, Sequence. We used to call it sequence. Sequence. That's what we need. Sequence.
It's INS now, not the
it's still sequence.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I mean, how do we grow up?
But it was a T-shirt I was trying to show now. Some ashy clothing, T-shirts, things.
Ashy, Baba.
Stay safe,
stay safe. I should have worn it, but I said I'll be with you in the spirit. With you today.
Really?
So it's sequence. So I don't know if it's a sequence. Just like when you grow up and they tell you standard living, standard. It won't flow.
Wow.
It's standard lily, standard lily. That's all we know.
That's me.
We don't know. Okay, sing it standard living.
I actually thought it was standard lily.
Okay, so sing it with standard living.
But I've mentioned. Do you really want me to sing that song?
No, I just want to see how it sounds.
Why don't you sing it?
I want. It sounds funny to me. So standard living, standard living.
I don't even know the rest of the song. That's the only part of the song.
So that's the whole song.
Wait,
that's the whole song.
I don't even know what that song was all about. But we appreciate everybody for reaching out online and for those that send in birthday shout-outs as well of their loved ones. We also have a Workers' Day post here. Happy International Workers' Day dedicated to our frontline workers, doctors and nurses, helping us to fight this war against COVID-19. There is even a bank that changed it in the papers from Workers' Day to Health Workers' Day.
Yep, that's what you can see right now is our official handles.
Yeah.
Official handle on Twitter that says, Happy Workers' Day for your commitment, smart and hard work. We say thank you, May 01. Now, so you can pick up this image and repost it. That image there from our social media handle at TVC Connect. You can repost it to wish the workers, especially for now.
Yeah.
the heroes of the world,
Yeah.
the health workers.
Yeah.
Your reward is on earth here and in heaven, not only in heaven.
So I actually think, based on the reports we had in the papers today about the health workers getting infected increasing, in 1 week it moved from 40 to 113. Now that is a very substantial number. And if you want to say a quick prayer for our health workers, I think they do need that support. They need prayers, they need advice, they need you to cheer them on. All over the world, in the UK, every evening they, clap for their health workers, and I think we need to do something to encourage them as well. So far, we've not really figured out how to encourage them except for just saying thank you, but we might have to figure something out in that area. Maybe even if it's just here, wake up.
We'll just let's round this up. I just saw a tweet that I want to mention. I think everybody can learn from this. The tweet says, I don't want to call the handle, the person that said it was, don't know who needs to hear this, but stop sharing internal communication documents of your workplace on social media. Just stop. I hope you're able to get something from that.
We told you we still had more, right? Yes, Wake Up Nigeria is joined by veteran comedian and award-winning actor, Oke Bakassi. In 2014, Oke won Best Actor in a Leading Role category of the 2014 edition of the Best of Nollywood Awards. And the role was in the movie Onyozi. One movie Mike mentioned earlier was Pam Pam, and we said we were going to ask him about that from way back. Good morning, okay?
Good morning this morning, Titi. How now?
Fine, thank you. I feel like calling you Egbon okay, or Oga okay. I can't just be calling you okay. I just feel like I have to put some respect in the, is it Mr. Okay, Bakassi, or how do I do it? Uncle okay? How?
Okay is enough. Okay is good enough. The name is simple and straightforward, so I wouldn't mind.
I have to say you are looking really, really good. For those that don't know your age, you could tell a lie and get away with it, so to speak. I have to ask if there's something special you've been doing to keep yourself looking this young.
My personal mantra is the pursuit of happiness, and once you're a happy person, every other thing falls in line. So for me, it's about living right, eating right, and same way you want to treat people right, you treat yourself right.
So you've always been like this. You've always been into staying healthy, eating right, and all that. But I know that along the line, a lot of people just sort of fall by the wayside. They change their mind along the way. Speaking of changing your mind, now that you've been at home, have you joined the group of chefs that have been cooking up a storm and then eating as much as well?
Yeah, I've been doing I live alone, so I've been doing the cooking myself. So I've always been an awesome cook. So this period is no different. Fortunately, I can cook the things that I can eat, and I can cook. I'm a good cook. I started way back, even during my university days. So that's cooking is not a problem for me. Some people see it as a chore. But I don't see it like that. It's a fun thing for me to do.
I think you've probably inspired someone at home, a man at home right now, to enter his kitchen and do something good. But I have to say, the fact that you're at home, many people know you to be an MC, an event MC as well as a comedian. And during this time, events are at a standstill. So how have you been able to manage?
This we in the entertainment industry, especially MCs, comedians, we are the worst hit. Okay, we've been rendered jobless. We are currently unemployed. No thanks to COVID-19. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's already tough now. Post COVID-19 is also going to be very difficult because we'll probably be the last set of people that will have to go back to work. Because of the social distancing thing, until people can gather and converge again, we have no job. So this period of lockdown is a period for us to reflect on the way forward, begin to re-strategize, reprogram ourselves and see how we can be relevant post COVID-19. It's not going to be easy, anyways. It's tough. So government should be considering us when they are doing the list of people to give palliative. They should be looking.
I think you decided to throw in a joke there at the end of that, right? A joke. But my main concern now is for when things do go back to normal. There was a lot of competition even before the lockdown began in the industry. A lot of people were thinking that the comedy industry was getting saturated. But what would you say to that particular comment if someone came to you with that?
You see, the sky, they say, is large enough for all birds to fly. Okay, what share of the world market does the Nigerian entertainment industry even hold for us to say is saturated? Okay, Nigeria, we like to drop this our large figure of we're about 180 to 200 million people. How many people have seen our shows? The population of Lagos, let's say roughly in the range of 20 million people. How many people come to the venues that we have? Okay, one of the biggest venues in Lagos that we all know will probably sit about maybe maximum 7,000 people. What is 7,000 people compared to the population of Lagos that see concerts? So if you say we have too many comedians, I don't think that is actually correct. Look at the numbers. So if all these comedians, how many thousand comedians, even if we have 5,000 comedians, for example, which I don't think we have, like those who are professionally practicing, now spread them all across the country, will they be able to entertain 180 million people? The answer is no. So the numbers we are not where we are supposed to be as an industry. I understand people's concern. Everybody wants to do a show in the city of Lagos. So at the end of the day, you have every weekend there's a concert, every weekend there's a concert. It looks like it's too much because of the noise it's generating in Lagos. How many of those concerts are actually successful? So yeah, those who are very serious will succeed. The pretenders will fall by the wayside, but the competition will continue.
I want to pick on something you mentioned there. You said professionals in the field. And Mike and I started a conversation earlier talking about standards and how the standards of comedy have changed over the years. Now, to some people's opinion might be that the standards have dropped. Some people would have said that the standards have evolved. What would you say to it? Where would you stand?
I wouldn't say the standard has dropped. Certainly evolved, yes. Okay, what has happened over time is that we've been gifted with so many different platforms for people to be able to express their talent. So when people like us started, for example, we didn't have the advantage of social media. Okay, it was live audiences. Jazzville, Onike, Yaba used to be the place where everyone went to test their skills. Everyone went to be noticed. But today, right there in your living room, in your bedroom, you can project your art from via, Instagram, all the other Facebook, just name all the platforms that are available to entertainers today to showcase what they have. So what has happened is that while some people have chosen social media as a platform for them to market themselves, some people are applying their trade live, entertaining live audiences. Some are using cable TV, or terrestrial TV. So you have these multiple platforms now that have become available for entertainers to showcase themselves. So while some people will excel, do very well as social media comedians, if you allow me to use that description, when you bring some of them to live concerts, they may underperform because it's not their area of comfort. Those who are used to performing live will do well live. And maybe sometimes they have a challenge when they try to create content and put on social media. But over time, you will see a blending of all these platforms And those who are versatile, like I always say, will continue to be versatile. Those who want to maintain where they are strong will maintain where they are strong. What has happened generally is that the art form is evolving.
All right.
And it's getting better.
So that, when we use the word evolved, there are a lot of things that are evolving. And I know that you look, I mentioned how young you look now, but you are not a very young man. Was it hard for you to also evolve to this new social media comedy era?
Yeah, you see, the truth for every business, be it entertainment, whatever business you do, you must change with times. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. Okay, so, and same thing applies to stand-up comedy. You can't say, oh, I've been in the industry for 27 years now. I can't say, oh, I've been doing this thing for 27 years, so I'm a master of it. No way. These children will come and chase me out of business, okay? So I tell people that I see myself as a student. I'm a life student. I keep learning. I don't stop learning. I learn from the old ones. I learn from the new ones. In fact, one great thinker said, the older you become, the younger your teachers. So I'm learning from younger people now because there's something fresh that they bring to the business, okay? They appeal to their age bracket. So which means they speak the language their generation will understand. And if I don't transition to understanding how to communicate with that generation, I'll get left behind. And that'll be bad business for me. So I have to keep learning. I have to keep evolving. And that is what I've been doing over time. That is why I'm still here. That is why I will continue.
Okay. My Egbon, my boss. It's always great having a conversation with you. I feel like people can learn from your story. And thanks so much for inspiring us on stage. Mike is here with me, and we're about to wrap up the show. I have to say thank you. Mike, Mike wanted to say something. Really, Mike?
I'm sanitizing. This is very important for everybody.
Yes. Please stay safe, my Egbon.
Thank you very much, okay? Thank you very much.
Your hands are covering your nose.
All right, and with that very interesting conversation, we have to wrap up on today's show. It's been an amazing week, and so many things have happened.
Your sanitizers normally scent very well.
Yes.
This one doesn't. This one is not scenting like those ones they put perfume.
Not to worry.
All those perfume sanitizers.
I have all those ones. I'm selling
this one is rugged.
I'm selling it. I have to sell my
money. This one is rugged, eh? You see, sanitizers. Okay, so if you want sanitizers,
everybody sanitize.
Hook Titi up on social media.
Yes,
at what? Titi the Dynamite.
Yes, sir.
For your sanitizing, special sanitizer, the one that is shimmery. When you sanitize your hand will be shiny and be smelling nice. Yes, Titi will hook you up.
Yeah, I will. But meanwhile, have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe, and please, if you do not need to go out on Monday, you don't have to. Just because they opened the gate for you doesn't mean you should go through it.
So said, let the first go. Let the first people go as test.
Yes, so let people go out first. You know what?
If you can, and
but we will be back here as always, 6 a.m. on Monday.
Yeah. If you don't have anything to do, just stay at home. Stay safe. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye.